So yeah, basically I'm a visual arts student here at UCSD and looking to get into like game design and stuff like that. But just kind of checking this out,
like
see what you guys are up to, and see if I can help in any way. So,
okay, cool.
Sounds like a cool project.
It is. We think so. Right?
Not very reassured.
We will reassure you with results that are going to happen.
Sounds promising.
We have a trailer. We do have a trailer. Okay, so what have you guys been up to? How, like the footage you shot, the interview? Have you got any more interviews? I don't know. What have you guys?
We haven't done an interview. I've been trying to line up the interviews with the Army-based people, but it has been going anywhere. I've sent them messages and they're all saying they need like permission, but other people say they don't need permission, and then I'm waiting to hear back from them. I don't know. We have a couple of other leads. Actually, I talked with this Japanese girl who knows a guy who is retired from the Army, and he lives in Japan. Still, he's like 60. So I really kind of was interested in interviewing him, but I'm waiting to hear back from her if he's interested. So I don't know. And then, did you try to talk to your contact at all? Okay. It's all right. It's been kind of crazy around here. I think we're trying to pull ourselves back together. And then Devin's gone for a couple of weeks. Everyone's job hunting. Not me though.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we don't really have anything to report, which is kind of sad. Sorry.
It's okay. We forgive you.
Please forgive us.
You are forgiven.
So,
what about you guys?
Before we move on, I mean, maybe we can try to get a timeline so that we don't just continue to sort of lose traction.
We do.
Well, we do have a timeline. Mid-May is rough.
Maybe a little bit more detail than midway has to be done.
We said my birthday, the 11th of
May.
May.
May 15th. May 15th, right?
Well, yeah, 15th is
That's when we
fine.
finish shooting.
Okay, right, okay. Just making sure we stay on track.
So we need to
like, I don't think it's the end of the world if we get like one interview after that, but we definitely need to, like, everything that we have thought about potential interviewees should definitely be done by then. So I think if something else comes up, that's not the end of the world, but for interviews. But
I guess if also,
Right.
I mean, maybe also if the people who you're trying to contact are just not responding, is there any other kind of individuals or groups that maybe we should be kind of going after as a backup plan?
I mean, I've got a few people who said they were interested. I'm not really. I mean, it'd be better than nothing. I don't necessarily feel like they have a particularly compelling story, but at least it would be something. I'm sure we could get something good out of it. And may have to go that route.
So when do you think would be a good time to make that call? May 1st.
Maybe
May 1st.
in a day or two. I'll try to get back with these other people and see if anybody's biting, but yeah.
Are your Army people, like, are you planning on asking them any questions, like, about the Army? Because I think that would be the reason that they would say, oh, we're not allowed to, because if you ask them anything political, they're not supposed to.
We're aware of that. We've talked with them about it. We know their limitations and things, but still.
They just don't seem interested.
Yeah, they're kind of fresh contacts, and I've spent some time with them, but I just think that it's easy. I don't know, just the nature of the documentary, it could easily not be well understood, our intentions, even though I explicitly was like, you know, we have no political agenda. You know, we're not about making any statements about any governments or, you know, any military, armed force stuff. You know, I've explicitly said that to them. So I just need to put a little more pressure on them is what I think I need to do. So I'll do that. I'll apply some pressure in non-violent ways. And, I'm sure they would destroy me. And then if I don't make any progress, I'll just go to those backup people. And, yeah.
Do they have anyone from
Sounds like a plan.
Tohoku, like to follow up on the? Is there any?
Tracy's asking if you have, if you know anyone from Tohoku to follow up on, I guess.
Like displaced,
on the
now living
displaced.
somewhere else, or?
I'm sorry, because I can't hear you.
Oh, do you have anyone you can contact from Tohoku? Originally from there, that's been displaced, to kind of follow up with them, or you know, kind of see where they're at now.
It's only if they're interested. When we first talked about this, we were going to be interested. But I mean, it may not be a big deal. Like that chance.
Can you guys still hear us?
Yes.
Okay. No. I thought they had a sound issue.
We got the contact with Nakamura Yuko to Kesuke.
And, right. But we're going to need to get in contact with them because our deadline for finishing shooting is May 15th. So we've got, I mean, we've got some legwork to do over here on our end.
That's right.
So,
That's right. We were just curious.
What did you guys do on the weekend?
So what we did, yeah. So we shot an interview. Gracie's friend, Army. I don't know what are we, Marine wife. What do we classify it? The background and everything was definitely better. We picked a nice location and everything, but of course it was like day before storm, so the sun kept coming in and out, and it was very windy. So I think the audio came out okay, is what Nick says, and the visuals are right, besides a kind of overexposure, underexposure, undulation, and high winds. So I think if as long as we stick to like short clips, it should be plenty usable. There's plenty of like B-roll and stuff to fill in, so you don't have to stay on her face too much. Like the image is nice as long as you cut out before it starts fading in or like dimming down or getting brighter. So I think we can definitely use some of this. We can use the stuff there, as long as we don't stay in the space we interviewed her too long, because the sun didn't have a constant exposure for very long.
okay.
How many more interviews do we have this end?
Excellent.
And then, yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, and I know the other meeting I was talking about a couple of people that were possible, more in the direction with on the Mexican community side, with my friend that's part of Mecha, and he's made contact with me, and I plan on meeting up with him maybe Friday or Saturday for sure. There's like an event like Chicano Day or Chicano Park Day. It's like where the community by the border was able to secure this piece of land for a community park, and so there'll be like a lot of political artists, political figures, artists, and like various other figures that are involved, like Mecha, and like the Mexican community here in San Diego. So I'm gonna go talk with my friend. He's actually coming down from San Bernardino, and maybe he'll shoot some B-roll, and he's gonna help me secure an interview with maybe somebody that's a little more important, that travels back and forth between Tijuana and here, and maybe secure that interview. So I'm getting closer to securing an interview, but I'll have to pretty much wait till after this weekend to see what type of interview I'm able to secure. But I'm kind of getting closer to getting that demographic that we're kind of looking for here on this side. So.
Anyone else but leads? Listen?
Oh yeah, and if you aren't able to get your military friend, I still may be able to get a hold of my friend here that's in the military with the band and all that kind of stuff. If maybe I'd still have to communicate with them more about that. But I would still like to see yours follow through first, if anything. So.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Then we still have a maybe on William.
Well, it's like one. I mean, it sounds similar to your thing where I have like one definite, but the content maybe.
Having a hard time hearing you.
Hello.
We got our thing turned up all the way. Too,
Hello. Better? Maybe.
Yeah, just speak up a little bit, maybe.
Okay. Then, yeah, I guess it sounds similar to what you guys were having, where I have one definite, but the actual content maybe not so interesting, so it's more of a backup, and then the other one I'm working on currently. So that's that.
So can we talk about
Rudy.
pigs?
Yes, actually.
Yes.
So, I guess we'll talk about picks real quick. Tracy and I and Brian kind of figured out a good way to actually incorporate this into our project without creating more work. And what we kind of decided how we're going to use it is, maybe you should explain this.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, so
yeah, we're still kind of experimenting with the pick system. Can actually. Okay. Yeah, we're actually still kind of experimenting with the software, still what it can and can't do. We are finding a lot of limitations with it, so.
I think the plan that I think would be the best way to move forward is to take on each respective side. First of all, we need to upload all of our raw files to the cloud server. I think that's kind of important that we each have access to each other's original material. Second of all, specifically for pics, I think we should have someone kind of weed out all the information that we're definitely not going to use and create these sort of short files of like maybe each question or each topic in each interview, and then upload those in a really low res pics spec to their server. I think the goal I had in mind is like if we can kind of weed out all the like confusing file syncs and audio syncs and just get really straightforward, good material, easy to work with material and pics, and then maybe more people in the collaboration are going to be willing to actually get on the system and put stuff together. Because if we upload the raw files on there, at least for our side, we have two different angles. They're they start and stop recording at different times. So for someone to try to take those original files and edit them is kind of like more trouble than I think a lot of people are willing to put up with to engage in editing. So my idea is like let's make pics as easy to use. So like everyone, like people coming, onto the project that don't even know the previous interviews, like you don't want to like deal with figuring out which angle syncs up where and all that. So I think that if we can make pics as easy to use as possible, that would be ideal. That's all, and that means not, unfortunately, being able to use it as a proxy.
And I think whatever images we do upload, it'll roughly take about like 15 minutes per gigabyte. It's like roughly almost 6 minutes. So like about 10 minutes worth of footage, 11 minutes worth of footage, where you're looking at spending half an hour per 11 minutes of upload. So however we use the pic system. No, like the regular, the MLB with the ACC and the faster. Like, so when you do the proper conversion to upload to pic system, like we have to, on both our ends, like whatever we do upload, we should be thinking about the time length that it actually takes to upload that amount of footage. So for every 11 minutes, it's a half an hour wait to actually get onto the system. So, yeah, have you guys accessed the pic system at all on your guys' end?
we've looked at it. Sorry, I haven't got anything up there. How easy is it to sort of batch upload stuff?
It's fairly easy. The only thing you have to like make sure is that it's like H.264 codec under an MOV file, and then if you take it into QuickTime Pro, you have to like create another file, save as, same thing. It'll attach the fast start file to the beginning of it, and it'll flatten the image essentially, and it's relatively not that long of a process.
We'll make a document and like share it, so we're both doing the same thing. Like, are you going to use probably Premiere for the time being to create the clips?
Probably.
So we'll make it like a workflow on
Premiere than Final Cut, so we'll probably use that if that's okay. You guys.
Sorry, you cut out. You said you're going to use Final Cut, or?
No. We have more access, more of the machines here at school, the PCs and stuff, the Macs, they've got Premiere on it than Final Cut. So we would like to use Premiere.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
what you don't need to use Final Cut to encode the files. All you need is like QuickTime Pro.
But we'll cover that. We'll do that in a document, so we're doing the exact same thing. I think
that would be helpful. So everything that's a really great idea. So everything would be uniform.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about this as we're actually doing it, because it's kind of technical, and I don't think we need to like talk about it in that group meeting necessarily. But
okay.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess yeah. Overall, what this is going to allow us to do, we're not going to be making edits for a Final Cut, but we'll be able to make notes on like interviews, like, oh, this question, his response is good. You know, let's try to incorporate this. Maybe we can use the playlist feature. We're finding a lot of limitations to it, though. So it looks like it's going to be looking at clips, making notes, and then having, for a Final Cut, unfortunately, it's going to require like an editor to actually execute all those decisions. So, you know, that's like kind of the con, but
maybe we're still waiting.
Maybe.
Let me maybe add a little bit to that. So, I mean, in my mind, the kind of benefit of PICS, hopefully, is going to be to help develop the kind of the story, right? I mean, we still don't have a really strong directorial direction right now. So there's kind of two ways of annotating, I'm imagining. One is sort of basic notes about, okay, here's, you know, something in this scene, like drawing something over it, right, that maybe is good or bad or whatever. And then also writing text about the questions and answers and stuff. But I think tags is another really important thing that we should try to do, because, I mean, to me the big thing is we haven't sort of pulled out some themes from all the interviews, you know? So if we all are doing review, then we can actually start to see patterns emerge from the interviews. That's kind of what I'm hoping. So if we start to generate a large tag cloud from all the interviews, then we should be able to use PICS to actually see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I think like how you guys were looking to create these smaller clips to kind of organize it up on there. Maybe the best approach is to like create like a time code. So that way, because when you cut it all up, it'll be like harder to organize.
Yeah,
it. So
I thought about that too. I thought it might be nice to have the original file name and time code. I don't think it's necessary.
Well, like on the
it'd be nice,
on the one that's
yeah.
uploaded to the PIC system, if it has like, if it's only like a 5-minute clip of like the whole 1 hour like piece, but then we don't know exactly where that is on the original, it'll be hard for us to go back later.
Well, it's
like figure out.
I'm with you. It helped big time that you guys put the time codes on your interviews that you gave us. Saved us a lot of time.
If you think it'll help, I just thought too, like at the same time, not to get like too like boring and technical, but if we're exporting these out of Premiere, like we already kind of have them set up in a timeline and like we know where they are. Like if we go to that original project, so it's like, I don't know.
But for them, we don't know if we can share the projects.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be sharing. But yeah, if you want to do time codes, I'm all for it too. If you want to do that.
Because on their side,
Let's try it.
know exactly where that is.
should we set maybe some like goals for having that up and reviewing all of it? I know I can probably get ours, a lot of it up by next week. And even I can even get like your guys' up too, because I have those preview files, and you know I don't need the original full res for pics anyways. So if you don't have time, like let me know. You know, I guess they wouldn't have time for it. But so what do you think? Is that going to be something that you think you'll have time? Or someone on your side will have time for it? Or?
We need to make time to do that. That's what I think. You know, and I've already said that I'm going to do it, and I haven't been on it. So we need to make that happen. I think that's something that we should do on our end.
Okay.
Upload our. I think that's fair. I think that's how it should be.
I'll send you an email then about exactly how I'm formatting all that stuff too. So hopefully our footage will look the same. And kind of a separate process in the meantime is just trying to get that stuff on the original files on the cloud server. So separate.
We should make a Google Doc and we can put it on the Pics page on the
site. Tracy says we'll put it on the Google site. No, site or doc?
You can make a
Google Doc for the site. Okay.
There is a Pics page already on the
Pics
Google
page.
site.
We'll get on the Pics page.
Okay, you think you can get that up soon?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back into the studio after the meeting and try to set up some stuff.
So do we have a system for tracking back? So what we ever put up pics, how do we link that back to what goes on the cloud server?
I suggest if we are gonna bother to do the timecode thing, in the timecode feature in Premiere, there's like a note you can make. So in the note, original file name, then you have the timecode right next to it. So then we just pull those files off the cloud server and we can edit each other's stuff. Or if we decide we should each respectively edit our own original material, that's something we can do too. But because honestly, we have like probably 60 gigs of stuff, so it might actually be time consuming to get all of the stuff on the cloud server. So I mean, if we can do it, that'd be ideal. An alternative is, splitting it.
Yeah, we can even start with just getting the best stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, we're probably not ever going to use. We can cut it down, and then if we have time or if we're, after that, I mean, I think it'd be nice if we had everything up there, but let's be honest, we don't need everything.
Definitely, and I especially for pics, like, let's keep the best, most useful stuff on pics, because that's the stuff that everyone needs to find time to review. So if we can keep that to the most, I mean, don't cut anything out if it's possibly something we're going to use, but if we can get that to the best stuff, then more people are going to take a look at it. More people will make notes if it's not a mess and a ton of like useless or unuseful stuff.
Yeah, and I would say like maybe the clips that we do upload in pics, I would limit it to like no more than maybe 6 minutes.
Yeah, on that note, I'm thinking like chop it up by question or topic.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, so it should end up like 2 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Or the answer's kind of long.
Yeah. And I think Pix likes shorter files anyways, so it basically likes YouTube clips. Is what it likes.
It doesn't even like the YouTube clips.
Well, YouTube doesn't.
Yeah.
I guess they read YouTube. Yeah. So.
We have to look into download permissions still as well.
And
issues I've got.
Yeah, we're gonna look at download permissions.
Oh, yeah.
So once the system's kind of up, let us know if you have problems. Download, upload, all that stuff, because we're kind of having issues already. So.
Yeah, there's like a test folder. It has like some random, like just kind of generic video on there, and then it's like a couple seconds long. If you guys, when you get the chance, see if you guys can actually access it, maybe play it, download it, and then maybe also try to upload some kind of short, like 3-second, 4-second clip, just to see if you guys are able to upload and download, so we can also figure out if it's working on your side. Because we're kind of having issues with some of us having ability to download and upload, so that's another thing that we're trying to work out.
Okay.
Anything else?
How long do you guys have the Opta portal for?
Do we have what?
The Opta portal. How long do you guys have that for?
Hey,
The
Well,
Sage
we're
wall.
gonna-
How long do you guys have Sage for?
They're letting us have it for longer. So we gave a presentation to them, gave them some ideas of ways they can improve their system and everything like that. And they said that we're the only ones that are doing video work with Sage right now, so they're letting us keep it
Great.
for a while, I guess. So that's some good news to report.
But if Kinomura-san is able to do the file system, the auto proxy, we'll be able to hook.
So at least through the end of our project, we'll have it. I'm almost certain.
you want me to describe that?
Yeah, we should talk about that.
So we've been talking with Kitamura-san here about workflow and just this kind of whole process. And one of the things that we discussed was he's got some software. Sorry, I'm off camera. That must be annoying. So one of the things he discussed was that he has some software for doing sort of automated transcoding. And so the workflow we imagined would be that he would you would basically have a directory structure. So once we would create the, well actually, this is slightly different now if we're not chopping things up and doing the manual. Yeah, this is maybe actually this doesn't work anymore because now we're doing the subclips. Yeah.
And that's
This was a way of I mean,
even without subclips, we still want to kind of line everything up for exports, like the two angles. And
I mean, you could still auto transcode and auto upload the raw to a, and then get the proxy, and then you could splice up the proxy.
That's true.
Might be useful. I don't know.
That probably would be best.
I mean,
If that would help, yeah. I mean, the basic idea was it could potentially do a few things. One is, upload the raw file to the cloud server, right? Two, it would upload the proxy files that it transcoded into the cloud server and prepare them for going into PIX too. Because I'm doubting that we'll ever be able to auto-upload it directly into PIX. The other big problem is, we're getting a pretty complicated directory structure now. So I was hoping that he might be able to help us to try to maintain some kind of continuity between PIX and the cloud server and our local file system.
yeah, I was going to mention that too. Something that we need to establish is like file name format, like how we format the folders and the file names. Because I feel like because we're working on so many systems, we need to standardize something.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and I forgot the other one, that it should auto-upload the proxy into Sage too. Yeah. So it seems like a good thing if we're able to get that, but I don't know when that will be. Hopefully that would be in, maybe within 2 weeks. We can try to have that. Hopefully that won't be too late. But we should still go manual for the time being for whatever we got. And so we can try to get that working for you guys on your end also. All right.
Okay, great.
Do the workflow. So I guess we get up a workflow doc for PIX, and then also a file structure or file naming system that we can all kind of reference. So we're all, like the file naming is similar, so we don't get confused going through different systems. Do you guys have any suggestions? I don't know,
I don't have a problem coming up with something for that, but we need to agree on something. So I'll in the Google Doc, I'll make a proposal of is this cool? Because we also need to deal with metadata. And does PIX does or doesn't?
Apparently.
Metadata? Not yet. So.
Supposed to be able to download something, so
What do you mean deal with metadata?
It'd be nice on PIX if you could organize by angle or actors or stuff like that. That's not.
I think it's still beta.
No.
It does
I
have different
feel like
sort options.
once we start using it, we can make adjustments. That's part of the process too, to figure out what's working, what's not. So
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of the structure that has been put in on Pix, but you know, we haven't uploaded anything yet. So
I sort of jumped in there and like made all those folders before multiple users started uploading, just so it was kind of set up. And I don't even know if that's the best setup, and we'll see if we need to change it.
Sure, and I think that once we get a little bit farther in with this process, we can, you know, make some notes and maybe adjust some things, or, you know, make notes for the next time as well.
Yeah.
So, groovy.
Guess that might be anything else?
Feel left out.
Anything else where as exciting as this Pix conversation has been?
Like, what we do.
Oh, we got a lot of work to do on our end, I know, especially. So, we just got to make it happen.
It should be fun.
Pretty much. Tell us we can do it.
You can do it. Tracy says it should be fun. Come on. So just take out the green thing and like put on some music and like just have a good time.
Just have a good time. That's all.
Okay, not like.
So yeah, as you can tell, we've lost a little bit of momentum. So we need to get on that.
It's hard when we have a break.
Yeah.
That's right. We're here for you to see. We got like 8, 9, 10 people. We're here. You can't give up on us.
We're not giving up.
All right.
We're gonna
fall through.
We're in this together.
Just take the advice from Jonik and like drink mad Red Bull and coffee bean, like coffee, and you know, power through everything and wake yourselves up and get ready. Pretend it's not summer coming up or anything like that. And
Neglect your health, you know, just
Will do.
you guys can do it. You can do it.
Thank you. Your words mean so much.
One thing I should mention. So we are doing a kind of interesting technical thing today. I'm not sure how it could help us for the future, but Daisuke Shirai-san changed the way that we're doing this streaming. So both of our streams, our videos, live video streams, are being sent to multiple locations. So we can actually connect many different sites together instead of just having this one-to-one relationship. So right now we're actually being voyeured by Shirai-san at NTT.
Say hello to Shirai-san.
So, hello, Shirai-san. So that's one thing, and that may or may not be interesting. Like if we wanted to pull in people from there to work with us, or for our demonstration for the future. The other thing, though, that I think he configured is supposedly one of your computers on your end should be able to be streamed over JPEG 2000 too. So if you're running Premiere or Final Cut or whatever on a PC there, not only, I guess, can it go into Sage, or maybe now it can't go into Sage, but it can be sent over the network. So we have, the second 4K projector there, so we can potentially be looking at their Premiere stream and doing the live video conferencing here instead of going inside of these tile displays. So it would be probably a better and faster viewing of their desktop. So once we actually get to the editing, or even if we wanted to actually kind of look at pics together, that's another way of doing it.
So shall we talk to Pix about getting local mirrors set up as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Pix about getting those local mirrors.
All right, I think we're done.
Great.
I think that's a wrap for now.
Yeah, so on our side, we can start.
So, you guys have anything?
Oh, you poor things.
All right.
We're gonna go eat some coffee grounds and start our day.
Breakfast of Champions.
Is that all?
Alright, what is it? Otsukare sama desu.
Otsukare-sama desu.
Practice. What's
You
our
guys
next
have a
word?
great week. See you next week.
Let's not
Yes. All right, next
Alright,
week.
you too. See you next week.
All right.
Yeah, we should do some.
They look so defeated.
Thing is that
I know, they got like so much.
yeah, their initial interviews were pretty
Yeah.
very good. So
Yeah. It's time to